Welcome to the Big Blue Offensive Podcast with Mike Trainer, Jay Jules, and John Depot. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the BBO NYG Podcast. I'm Mike. That's John. That's Vin. John Depot's out in some place I never heard of. He's on vacation for the week, so he'll be back in a couple weeks because we're going to take him off next week because of the holiday. But we're going to give it to you. Preseason, the final game, the cuts. We had a lot of cuts today, a couple surprises to me, and then we'll give our little prediction for the season. So we'll start off I guess with the cuts, right? Or preseason. What do you guys want to start off with?
Yeah, let's do the cuts. Let's dive in. They all got released at 4:00 today.
I was really surprised that Turbo Miller got cut. That was my guy, man. I really thought he was going to make the team. I get why you guys said Devin Singletary would be the stay because you need a veteran in there, obviously pass blocking and all that. But I don't know. I'm hoping Turbo lands back on the practice squad so we get to keep him there. But I guess with Cam Scatterable coming back healthy the other night, I think that's what kind of put the fork in him. What was your guys' surprise cut? I know Vinny's going to say Cutlets. We already know that, Jules. What about you, Jules? What is your surprise?
Honestly, nothing really surprised me because, there's a waived injured list, and Trey Hawkins was on that. So I'm not quite sure if that means that he could circle back or not. I'm not sure what the extent is when it comes to that waived injured list. He's not on the official no recall cut list. Mm-hmm. But other than that, listen, it nothing really kind of jumped out at me. It was pretty much sure. I know people brought up Greg Dulcich because he had a good preseason game. I think he had 3 touchdowns or some shit throughout the preseason.
Yeah, good.
That was a little bit of a surprise that he got cut. But then again, we already have 4 tight ends. We're kind of loaded in that department. You have Bellinger. I know people were wondering why he was there, but he's a good blocker. So you we're nitpicking, bro. If we're really sitting here complaining about a couple of these guys being surprised that these dudes didn't make the team and got cut, then we might be in for a better season than we think.
True. All right, go ahead, Cutlets. Go ahead.
No. I expected Cutlets to get
Tommy D.
Right. He got his jersey, his shirt, his hat. Come on.
Big shout out to Tommy Cutlets. I hope nobody picks him up. I hope he stays with us. Even if he doesn't play it down again, Tommy Cutlets forever in New York. Don't go to Philly. Don't go to the Jets. Don't go anywhere. Stay here with us on the practice squad.
Yo, imagine Philly signed him.
I can't imagine that. I could totally imagine that. Are you kidding me?
Nobody wanted to trade for him, though.
Couple things that stick out to me. Jules already said it. I thought Dulcich did enough to make this team. It was between him and Fedoni. Fedoni's the rookie, and he would not have cleared waivers. Somebody would have picked him up. So I think to protect Fedoni, they're Dulcich may not get picked up, but he might. I guess Manhurt's making the team as he's the best blocker. And Bellinger's a pro's pro. You know what I mean? He's a good player. I don't think this coaching staff really likes him.
There was a trade offer for him.
Was there?
Yeah, there was it was a late round pick that I read, and they turned it down.
Oh, see, I've been getting the vibes that they don't really like him, but
they do.
They're big into Theo Johnson. Theo Johnson needs to make a huge jump in the tight end department. The guy's got everything you want in terms of his size and his speed and his strength. So I'm hoping he makes the jump that we hope he can make. I'm not surprised about the running backs. Not surprised about the quarterbacks. I'm a little surprised about Bo Collins. I was rooting for Bo Collins early in camp in the spring. The kid did a lot of work, but there were 2 major mistakes in the preseason where I was like, he's done for. But they like his size, and maybe he offers something on special teams. Your guy Gunner made it purely for special teams. I don't like this. I gotta tell you, I don't like this wide receiver room. After hour 3, starting with Jalen Hyatt, I don't like the depth there. I would like for them to go out and get a veteran. Gabe Davis, I hear, is still out there. I would love to somehow snag him if he's still healthy or whatever. Who's another name I heard? There's a few guys out there where I'm like, yeah, why not?
Gunner did look good in the slot, Ben.
What's that?
Gunner did look good in the slot. He
He
kind of
Yeah,
does.
but that was against
I
third, second, third, fourth
I know,
string
but he
guys.
That's all we got to go on.
he
Yeah.
looked he looked pretty seasoned there. I got to admit, like he looked, you know.
I
I'm not
hate the
saying he's a
fact.
Wes Welker type guy or a Brandon Stokely, but hey, you never know what turns out. We had a guy that Victor Cruz just turned down into something in a
One in a
preseason.
million, though.
Oh
One
yeah,
in a million.
I know. We really
Um,
got to
I
fix
uh,
this, but
I
I don't know.
hate the fact that Evan Neal is on this team. I think Evan Neal is on this team because we owe him $8 million. Kind of like Singletary, but Singletary's good though. They know what they got in Singletary, so I shouldn't make that comparison. There's no way we're going into the season with just three safeties. So I think they're gonna add one there, maybe
Gotta
take away a corner.
gotta
Um,
gotta do it.
I don't know any of these linebackers other than McFadden and Bobby. These other guys like Flanagan, Fowler. I'm good. I think he sucks.
I didn't
And
like
then
Trace Ford going though. That sucks for me. I liked him. I thought he was okay.
see, I liked Elijah Chapman, and I thought there
Yeah,
was something
he
there.
might end up on the practice squad though.
Yeah, nobody's gonna pick him up.
That
And
was a
then
tough
the
squad.
defensive line, like other than Dexter, Nunez Roches is probably gonna start. There'll be some spots for DJ Davidson and Roy Robertson Harris, but Alexander, and I know he's,
You gotta give him time, man.
yeah,
Listen, he
like
had a decent game against New England.
you think
You know, he
so?
did step
I
up.
felt
Yeah,
like
listen, tackle for a loss. He hit quarterback
Yeah,
pressure. Listen, that's what these guys are going to do. They're not going to, not everybody's going to be Dexter Lawrence with double-digit sacks in the D line. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
Trainer, you were hyped on this Chauncey Golston when we signed him. Tell me about him because I've heard nothing at
I've
all
heard,
about him.
dude. I honestly haven't heard anything much in the preseason either. But maybe that's what they do. They kind of keep these guys under the wraps, and hopefully just part of like the rotation immediately. I don't know. I haven't really
I
heard much
think
about him.
I honestly though, looking at this roster, just looking at it, as I'm literally looking at it right now, I think I think the wide receiver room is a big concern. I don't like the depth there. When Jalen Hyatt is your fourth wide receiver, I think we got a major
Well,
problem.
well, maybe they go to a lot more two tight end set this season.
Maybe they'll
I
go
mean that's
12 man again, and maybe we'll be a more of a run team with Russell Wilson.
kind of what we want.
Maybe
We want that play action, and let Russ
he's good
cook.
with play action. He's good
Let
with
Russ
he can
cook.
still throw the deep ball. But I don't trust Hyatt's gonna lose us a game. That's what I envision. He's gonna make a fucking big drop, and we're like, damn, like we
Yeah,
lost the game. Like Evan Ingram lost us games.
that's yeah. When you said when you were talking about Theo, I hope like Theo don't turn into the next Evan Ingram, where he has all these intangibles and then he just doesn't do anything like on the field. Like Theo was hurt last year, but the games he played, he had some impressive fucking ball games
Yeah, but he had balls
last year.
thrown to him where he was wide
True,
open, right in
true,
his hands,
true.
and I was like,
That's
oh,
what worries me too about
you
him. But
know.
listen, maybe he'll come back strong like this year. I mean, it's
Dable
nice to have
loves
a
him.
tight end room like that.
Dable absolutely loves Theo Johnson since the day he drafted him. He made him that number one tight end since he's walked into that locker room. So it's
Yeah.
like he's got to perform. He's got to make a jump. I'm hoping. I think the roster is what I expected pretty much. Bo Collins making the team. I know he was fringe, but other than that, like who are they going to put in there?
I
The
mean,
Smith Marchette.
honestly, like when you have a guy like Neighbors at number one, I mean, he counts really as two wide receivers because he's just going to get the ball like all day.
But I don't want to see that though, because I don't want to make the
I do.
offense
Dude,
Why not?
so one dimensional.
He's nasty.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
but it's
want
not
weapons.
one dimensional. I mean, if you look at the Lions before they got to Laporta, right? Who the fuck they were still throwing to St. Brown. St. Brown was still fucking putting them numbers. I mean, if you look at Dallas, right, with CeeDee Lamb, they had I mean, Amari Cooper was there. They've been mix and matching number twos with them for the last fucking how many seasons? You know what I
They
mean?
always have two.
Like
They always have
look at
two.
Washington last year with Terry McLaurin, right? Like
Yeah,
you
it's
can
always
make
that
it
one
work,
guy.
dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, these dudes get like 10, 11 targets a game. That's kinda what you're
Washington had the tight end that had a really good
saying. Ooh,
year.
Zach Ertz?
Zach
He had a
Ertz.
good year. He had a really good
Man.
year. He had a
Whatever.
good year. And why?
Yeah,
And Dallas always has a number two guy. There's always
I
a
mean,
number.
listen, they had Ferguson, like I said, they had Amari Cooper there, but last year they didn't have anybody.
Yeah, they were mixing
You
guys.
know what I mean? They were mixing up.
Well, last year was a down year for them. A
Yeah, it
down
was
year
a
for
little
their
bit. Yeah, Dak
offense.
was hurt. There was a lot of injuries for them. Yeah, I get it. But what I'm trying to say is that, like,
They went out and they got a number two guy.
right, right. Yeah, listen, I get it. You're gonna want to get to that. I mean, but look at Kansas City. You can't literally sit here and tell me that they had a clear cut one. I mean, everybody's going crazy over Rashee Rice. Rasheed Rice had 2 weeks in the season. That's what he played.
I
2 fucking weeks. That's it.
I say it's wide receiver. Where do you guys think the biggest hole in terms of the rosters, in terms of the way our roster is constructed today? Where do you guys think is the biggest hole? Which unit?
Corner.
Corners one. I say corner.
They got like 8 corners. They got like 8 of them.
Yeah, and that's why I think one of these kids are going to step up. Again, remember, listen, we need these guys to be corner 2. We're still thinking that we need this cornerback 1. We don't need that. We need a corner 2. We got a solid corner 2. That secondary is going to be better. And also, if this pass rush lives up to what it looks like on paper,
that'll make it easier.
These guys are going to be able to hang. You know what I'm trying to say? They're going
to. So what's your biggest hole then?
Linebacker, I think. I mean, outside of our starters, we have no linebacker.
I don't know who those dudes are.
Like that linebacker room is empty, bro.
Yeah,
one of those dudes gets an injury or some shit, we are fucked.
It's funny how we're not really, besides Vinny, obviously, but we're not really saying like offense is a weakness, besides the wide receiver. It's funny how we're saying that because I can't say wide receiver is a weakness when you got Neighbors on it. Now, if Neighbors gets hurt and he's out a couple weeks, yeah, that's a weakness.
Our depth is super bad there.
The depth is really not great on the entire team, to be honest.
Yeah, anywhere.
You know what I mean? I mean, sure, you could say the defensive line. You could say
I think running backs
the offensive line too.
Oh.
Maybe the offensive line with Embo and all those guys stepping up, like looking good in preseason. Maybe
that's what you like to
finally.
See. Yeah, that's what you love to see. I mean, God, about time.
I gotta tell you,
have an offense?
I like James Hudson as a swing tackle. I like him as a swing tackle. Yeah. I like Embo. We're hoping he does well.
He's been looking great. So
I just want
to see out of a rookie.
My worries are Andrew Thomas's health, Van Roten's age, Schmidt regressing, Evan Neal sucking for the rest of his life, and Runyon not being that good. Runyon will never be a good guard. The only one that I'm like super confident in,
solid bet,
out of all of them, is Illuminor. Illuminor is the only one where I'm like, done deal. Slot him in at right tackle. That's what's going to get it done.
And he wants to stay there.
Right.
They're going to extend him. Before the end of the season, he gets an extension. Yeah, you heard it here first.
Listen, but Andrew Thomas also is cleared. He's healthy.
I love Andrew Thomas.
So you know what? Look, you just got to expect him to be back, ready to go, and play left tackle, and that's it. You know what? These guys, they got to be healthy. That's it. You know what I mean? Look, I get it. Certain dudes, certain athletes, because they put so much pressure on build. They work out so hard, and so much is on their bodies. Some of their bodies just can't hold up.
But if I can, as I'm looking at this, if I could give a little pushback on the depth, I think we have depth at quarterback. Do we agree?
Of course.
All right. I think we have depth at running back. Do we agree? We got 3 good players there: Singletary, Scatterboo, and Tracy.
Yes.
Okay. Wide receiver, I don't think the depth is there. I think our starters are okay. They're good. But after that, I think it's trash.
See, look, Vin, I also like to look around the league, right? And then primarily within our division. So you look across the field, the team we're playing week 1. After Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel, who do they have? Come on,
I don't know that.
You know what I'm saying? So I got to kind of support Trainer on this, where it's like you can't expect everyone to get hurt or not or fucking miss games and shit. You got to think that these dudes are going to be able to get out there for 16, 17 games. You know what I'm saying?
Probably
out there.
They probably do have better players. I don't know who they are. I can't answer you. I don't know who they are.
But that's the point, though. It's like no one's like standing out. It's not like these guys are super deep.
Let me keep going through this.
Yeah.
Tight end. Do we have good depth? We have 4 tight ends.
Yeah, we're fine there.
Okay. Offensive line. You think the depth is good? I think it's the best it's ever been in a while.
In the last fucking 10 years, probably.
But we're comparing it to the fucking past Giants teams that have been horrible. So it's like, I want to say the depth is there, but I got to see it to believe it.
I agree.
Now, corner, I agree with you guys. I think the depth is very thin. Drew Phillips, Cordell Flott, Deontay Banks, and Paulson Adebo. After that, it's Corey Black, Art Green, and Nick Jones.
I do like Drew Phillips, though. I like Drew Phillips playing that slot corner.
He hits hard.
Love that kid.
Safety, we only got 3 guys. Belton, Holland, Newman. I would love them to get one more guy. Get one more guy in there.
They need it. They definitely.
Outside linebacker is the heart of our team. Burns, Carter, Tibbs. There's no depth there, but we got 3 superstars.
Right.
Inside linebacker, to what Jules was saying. We got McFadden, Bobby. Then we got
that's it.
Chris Board,
I know.
Demetrius Flanagan Fowles, and Darius Musau. And then defensive line. And then defensive line, we got Sexy Dexy, Nunez Roches, Ray Robinson Harris, Chauncey Goldston, DJ Davison, and Darius Alexander, which is we don't know.
But Vin, that's deep. that gives us a lot of rotation ability. That's going to get guys in and out. You know what I mean? Like different things.
I
Like
think
keep
I
guys
think
fresh.
I think that's deep because they haven't figured out who's the guy right behind
Yeah, but
Jets.
that's not a bad thing. It's not that they haven't figured it out. It's an open competition. So that means
Like
whoever wants it and is hungry enough and wants to step up is going to make the impact that they could become the fucking starter for the New York
our
Giants.
pass rushers and safeties are only three deep because they know who they are. They know who the
Well, I
guys
mean, listen,
are.
you can only have so many as pass rushers. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of teams, if they have two, they're fucking going crazy over it. You know what I mean? I look at Washington. They signed Von Miller, bro, and they're like fucking ecstatic about that
I
signing.
know.
You know what I mean?
It also could be a locker room signing.
It could be.
Their GM there seems to have gone. What did he do? He did a lot of 1 year deals with veterans
Yeah.
like Eckler, and he does. It seems to be
Finding the
that is
right
his way.
guys.
He wants a veteran in that locker room to kind of, I guess, rile them up and take them to the
Yeah,
next. He's
Yeah,
got
I
and keep
agree
them
with that.
confident, show them how to win, all that kind of shit. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
they're good vet. They're good veterans to have, like good veteran president in that locker room, for sure. But yeah, listen, our team is okay. I just hope we just got to pray that this team doesn't get hurt. Like in years past, we've all seen how horrible it is when everybody gets hurt. So we just got to game by game. I hold my breath every time there's a play and somebody don't get up right away. I'm just like, oh, here we go again. Let's hopefully this not, you know what I mean? They got the mojo better than that. It looks like the team is really together like this time around. So hopefully that carries over onto the field where these guys just don't get hurt all the time and miss games.
what's the most important injuries? I would say Neighbors, Wilson, and probably Neighbors, Wilson, and Thomas. Those are probably the three most important. All offense.
At least for the first month of the season.
Yeah,
You know
We
what I mean?
gotta
Because
see Andrew Thomas go down.
yeah,
Nah.
but no, Andrew Thomas can't go down again because that's just going to affect the overall offensive line, right? But like what I'm trying to say is with Wilson, I think we could win games if he missed a few weeks.
Me too.
Like depending who we're playing, what the schedule is, all those kind of things. It's not like putting Jameson Winston in there or fucking or Dart.
No, you got to go with Dark because he's number 2, right, man?
Did that come out?
Oh, no, it's not. I don't know. I don't even know how they listed it. Yeah,
He might have played his way into number 2.
Listen to me, boy.
Might have.
They were like, "Get out of here, Cutlass. We got Dartboard coming in. We'll be all right." So, anyway, yeah. Speaking about Jackson Dart, he had another impressive night. Last game he started. He played. He got banged up a little bit. They thought he might have had a concussion, but he really didn't. He was just like, "Get me out of this fucking tent. Put me back in the game so I could throw the touchdown
like, you're going to miss
pass."
my touchdown stat. Fucking
Right.
threw that shit on him.
And then Winston came in, just fucking ducked it under there. Like,
bro, he was actually pissed off for like a solid 10 minutes.
We were talking about it. We were like, yo, he's really mad. He's really tight. The dude that looks like Ellen DeGeneres on a post game was really tight on that pass. Yeah, I felt for him. I was like, yeah, I get that. I love that competitive nature, especially you got to have that here in New York. You have to have that, and you have to show it. You know what I mean? Eli Manning, he didn't really show it, but he showed it. You could tell when Manning was on a mission.
He showed it behind the scenes, and that was what us as fans and the public didn't get to see. But he clearly had that. You know what I mean? And that's why the team looked up to him and respected him.
You just knew he had ice.
He was a quiet, gentle leader type of thing.
But he had ice in his veins. He was all serious, all about business, going out and fucking play. I like that. Like I'm wishing the best for Jackson Dart, but I'm kind of with Vin. Like I've kind of softened on it. Like if the Giants have a good record and they're playing well and Russ is playing well, I might want to like have this kid wait until next year. I know he's been like really super impressive from the get-go, and we all know how Giant fans are. You guys said it before. They're going to be calling his name when Russ Wilson throws one bad pick, so we got to have I definitely want to see patience with that. I don't want him to sit behind Russell Wilson for fucking 2 years, but if it's just like 1 year, I'm fine with that. But I really kind of got the feeling we're definitely going to see some type, like even if he comes in for a couple series or in a blowout where we're crushing a team, because I don't think, you know what I mean? I don't think we're going to get blown out by anybody, but I think if we're blowing somebody out, I think he might come in for like some garbage time, get some experience in a regular season game. I can see that happening down the line, but that's just wishful thinking that we're a good football team again. And that's a great problem to have. But honestly, after the past how many years of watching Giant football, how confident can I really be in saying that? So after saying all that, I probably see Jackson Dart coming in sometime this year, even though I might not really want to, but I kind of do want to. You know what I'm saying? I want to draft him in Dynasty, but fucking Hollywood got him. But that's neither here nor there. I was kind of pissed about that, but let's just hope for the best, these guys. And let's hope, like Winston, obviously he's not going to get traded because Cutlett's gone away. So he's staying. There's no trade that Winston's going to leave the Giants team. So he's staying for next year for sure.
You got to look at how the contracts are structured, right? We traded up to the first round to get Dart, right? So that we obviously show that we're putting a lot of stock in him as long as this coaching staff and GM and everybody stays in place. And then we signed Winston to 2 years and Russell to 1. That tells you exactly. That tells you everything right there. That's literally it's like we've been saying multiple times the last few weeks that Winston's here to kind of just continue to be a solid backup because he's one of the best in the league. Russ is going to try to reinvent himself. I mean, listen, if Russ Wilson ends up winning and gets us to the fucking playoffs or some crazy shit, Giants somehow win 11 games or some wild shit happens, right? And they're in the fucking playoffs and they win a playoff game or two, you might bring Russ back. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Like Sam Darnold, Minnesota Vikings situation.
Yeah, with Sam Darnold. Was this Russ's only offer for the Giants? A 1-year deal?
No,
any other offers?
He was interviewing with Pittsburgh. He went to a couple of teams.
He did?
Yeah.
Did they make offers though, or were the Giants like the only one? Because I haven't really heard that many offers for Russell Wilson. You think he would have took another gig if it was more than 2 years, or maybe he just thought Daniel Jones was staying on the team and he could beat him out. I don't know. I really don't know what happened.
Don't forget we had signed Winston already. So he knew Jameson Winston was going to be on the team.
That's what I mean.
Draft yet, and he still decided to come to New York.
So did he really decide that, or was his only option? Is what I'm saying.
No, I think he had other options on the table.
I'm not sure about that. I don't remember.
Like Cleveland would have probably given him a deal.
They would have gave us a deal.
Would have been better than the deal we were offering up. You know what I mean? Because it was deep into the offseason.
He waited a long time.
Listen, he didn't pull it out on Rodgers. I mean, Rodgers waited till after the draft to fucking sign.
Yeah, if Pitt wanted him back, I'm sure they would have definitely offered him more money. That's crazy.
Pittsburgh was all in on the Rodgers move from the get.
It
it was Rodgers all the way for them.
But it's weird how they had Russ in the building and they just decided to like move on. Yeah, that's telling it a little bit. I don't know. That's something I would really love to find out if he had more offers on the table. Because this is really this is motivation for him to have a good year.
I really think he's going to have an okay year. I want to temper my expectations. I think he'll be, he gets the pocket's just got to be clean for him. If the pocket's clean for him, I think we're going to see him get the ball out quick. He's going to do the play action. Let's be a run first offense. I'm hoping get Neighbors the ball, get him involved. I want us to be dynamic. Get the tight ends involved on the short on the third and shorts. I don't know. Jackson Dart has answered the bell. And I got to tell you guys, I know preseason doesn't mean nothing, but we're always so dreadful going into the season. The vibes are just different. They're much more positive. Going 3-0 for this is how you change culture in a locker room.
Why is that though? Why is the culture different this year?
Because I think they got some dogs. They got some dudes on this team like Scadaboo. I think he's gonna, Jackson Dart. You saw how he ran in that preseason game. I don't like it. Learn how to slide, motherfucker. You know what I mean? But
you heard his explanation though, right? He said that he saw the guy coming at a different angle and he thought he could beat him off the corner there. So that's literally what he was doing. So it's a rookie mistake.
Rookie mistake.
Yeah.
But I think
guy doesn't have to start week 1. We're not putting the pressure on the dude.
I love it.
He's got the fight in him. Listen, he's got talent. If he could just make those adjustments that he needs to get to that next level, the kid's got what we need. He's what
also Dable's different. Dable's coaching a little looser, a little different. He's throwing them. Yeah, I like Fat Dable better. Fat Dable's more effective. And also Kafka is the play caller now. Like I like that they're it's different. There's a different feel. Every beat reporter has said it. Like the vibes are different in this locker room. I think the team is better.
I'll give you one reason why I think. But go ahead, finish, man.
I think they're gonna be. I just think they're gonna be a stronger unit. They're not gonna give up like they did last year. But the division's really difficult, and our schedule's really difficult. So I don't know where this is all gonna go, but I'm positive more than I could ever be, I guess.
My reason is I think the vibe was off last year, and to be honest, because they let Barkley go, and they were the team was seeing how great Barkley was doing in another team. And I think that really had an impact, just like it had an impact on all the fans. I think those guys seen it, and I think it took a little time for that to wear off in that building and to get guys in here. And you're right, by getting guys like Scadaboo and then Abdul Carter, obviously that changes the culture a little bit. But then also maybe letting Daniel Jones go, maybe that had an impact too. You know what I mean? A
You know
lot of
what?
things.
Listen, I'm still gonna hold to this truth. This is of course, my theory, but like I think there was a lot more backroom type of fucking underground shit that we didn't see as far as Hard Knocks showed with that whole Saquon deal. All right. Literally, Joe Shane was like, look, I can't build a team if we sign Daniel Jones and fucking Saquon Barkley.
But do you
And
think
that
it
was what the
divided the
reality
locker room? Do you think it
that
divided the locker room, Jules?
and I think Mara had a little bit to do with it. And I think he wanted Daniel Jones coming off of a playoff win, and he wanted that guy to be our guy. We drafted him in the first round. He liked the guy. He liked his personality and all that kind of shit. And I think that was what it was. So it was having to stick with Daniel Jones, give up an asset like Barkley, and then have to scramble to have like this kind of BS quarterback room. Well, now we finally can move on from him. We brought in guys that are dogs like that, but it's also 3 years or so of Shane's drafting. Now, like, there's very few of these other guys that are still hanging around that were on the team. And if they are still around, it's because they're fucking beasts. You know what I'm saying? And Thomas and Lex and Dexter Lex, those guys, right? But like,
Yeah.
It does change it. Look, they're happy because they finally got their guys there. You know what I'm saying? Tracy's their guy. Scadaboo's their guy. Neighbors is their guy. Fucking the whole quarterback room
Jackson
is their
Dart
guys.
is his
The
guy.
whole quarterback room is their guys. You know what I'm trying to say? Like for whatever reason, they still kind of like Hyatt. Theo Johnson's been coming up like crazy. He's another dude, right? Like, you know what? Like I said, he got hurt last year. Look, I know that we've been kind of spoiled, right? Because this is what happens. We all do fantasy, so we all pay attention, but you'll see the guys, they come out, right? You had Sam Laporta 2 years ago, rookie tight end, and he explodes on the scene. Then had a little bit of a sophomore slump. You had Brock Bowers last year. You had Trey McBride a couple of seasons ago, right? Like all these young tight ends are just coming out the gate, busting out. If you remember, it was almost like the rule of 2 or 3. It happens almost every year. Like Gronk came out on the scene his rookie year, he looked really good. But like there was other tight ends drafted with him that developed after. A lot of these guys, like a TJ Hawkinson, he didn't come out year one looking like a stud. He gradually got into it. It's like 2 or 3 seasons for tight ends. So that might be the case with Theo Johnson. He might need a season or 2 to develop. So like okay. I think there's just that. And then there's just this loose vibe where everybody's kind of like, fuck it. Instead, when you're in a situation like this, where you're on the quote unquote hot seat, you could do one or two things. You could be like, oh shit, oh my God, and panic. Or you could just fucking let it all hang out and be like, fuck it. I got nothing to lose. Let's just play like that. We're expected to win 2 fucking games with certain fucking places that are doing it. Vegas has us at 5.5. We're supposed to be picking in the top 5 again next year, but we got nothing to lose. There's no pressure on this team. Of course, you should be loose and things are fucking going great and everybody's fucking having a good time. Like who cares? Like we're supposed to win 2 fucking games. We're gonna go 2-15 and get the number 1 pick. You know what I mean? Like fuck it. I don't think that's gonna happen, but
the year we went to the playoffs, do you guys remember how like grim we were looking into the season?
Right.
Like we were like, yo, we're lucky if we get like 4 or 5 wins. We're gonna be at the top. Then they went into Tennessee. You all remember it.
Yeah.
We won in overtime. And like from there, it was just a gritty, we had an easy schedule,
Didn't have an easy.
we gritted out those wins early, gave ourselves a nice little cushion. We hit a wall when we played physical teams like the Lions and stuff like that. But that team ended up winning a playoff game on the road.
Yeah.
It got Daniel Jones paid. It got us into some Saquon drama. But
after that, injuries happen again, man.
Yeah.
For 2 straight years.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys remember McKinney got hurt on the bye week of that year.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was like,
what was it? Yeah, ATV, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You got guys doing dumb things, guys getting injured. There's a lot of just that bullshit. Like we're finally healthy going into the regular season.
Thank God.
We have a whole new dynamic in fucking a lot of different key positions. They said, why go in with the grim and gloom and all this other bullshit? Each year it changes. Look, if you look at some of the teams that did really well last year that weren't supposed to, Washington wasn't supposed to be good. They were fucking good. They weren't supposed to win double-digit games. No fucking shot. I'm not saying the Giants are going to, but like a lot of these teams that are automatically certainly coming out the gate, like San Fran, I don't think San Fran's as good as they were the last couple of years. They've lost a lot of fucking people. Half their
Yeah.
fucking
Oh yeah.
receivers are all out already. You know what I mean?
No
You
doubt.
don't even know what you're going to get out of CMC. That's just a wild card with that. And their defense isn't what it was a couple of seasons ago. It's just not. You
Definitely
know what
not.
I mean? Like, so, like, and we'll see what
Tough
Detroit looks
division.
like.
Teams
You know,
fall
who
off.
know, you know,
Yeah.
Detroit got beaten that Washington game in that playoffs. I really fucking truly believe because they were starting to gut that fucking coaching staff. You know, and their coaching staff, like, they didn't look like they were into that game. Like something looked off.
Somebody here called that the Lions, when you
Yeah.
guys were all up on the Lions, I was like, the Lions are peaking right now in November. I
Right.
said it. I was
And
like,
like,
they
what
don't have it.
Minnesota's just gonna keep repeating and like, listen, dude, there's a lot of teams that like they have potential. I mean, people are still talking up the Rams. You know what I mean? Like whether they might win the West. You know,
But it's Sean
like,
McVay, so you gotta
yeah, you got
And
to
Stafford.
respect that.
Stafford just got paid.
Right. You know, like, look, it's really going to come down to with this team. It's going to come down to the first 2 weeks because I'm telling you right now, you could take a look at a team like Buffalo, who really didn't play their starters, but that's a fucking team that's been doing it. They've been in the AFC Championship game, I think, 3 out of the last 4 years or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, you had or whatever it was, 2 out of the
Can't
last
get
4.
over that hump though.
Yeah, they can't beat Kansas City. So that's their Achilles heel. We know it, right? At least not in the playoffs. But my point is that like, okay, a team like that's been doing it year in, year out. You got an MVP in the quarterback. You don't need to have that guy play. You got a fucking kid that's coming off of a rookie season in Jaden Daniels. Okay. And yes, he had an amazing season. I'll give it to him. But now the kid's good enough where he doesn't have to throw one pass in the fucking preseason in his second year.
That's the
Come
NFL.
on, guys.
That's the new
NFL.
NFL.
Come on, man. I don't give a fuck who you are. We all say everything's about reps. We all say it's about practice and repetition. Is the kid really good and talented? Absolutely. But now all of a sudden the kid after 1 year could take a fucking preseason off.
I personally think every player on every team should play every goddamn preseason game. I don't understand this mentality, like put them in bubble wrap.
I
don't care.
Burns.
They get hurt, they get hurt. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
they're hurt walking down the street. I like them to play football real reps preseason.
They used to practice that way.
Getting hurt off field. Look at JPP blowing up his fucking hand. Look at Najee Harris getting hit with a firework in his eyeball. You mentioned McKinney fucking just now on the ATV accident. You know what I mean? Like, I forgot I heard a couple seasons ago. Like, like it happens all the fucking time.
How many guys fall out coming out the shower too?
Right. Yeah. Like seriously. Yeah, I think Greg Olsen had some crazy shit like that happen to him back in the day or something where he fell like in his backyard or something.
And then I like for them to get in football ready shape. You got
to do that. You got to do that in practice. But the way the NFL changed, they don't let them practice with pads on it basically anymore. Back in the day, they used to throw the fucking pads on, go right at each other and practice. And that's how you get ready for like week 1. Those days are long gone. It's turning.
You know what preseason is? You know what preseason is? The month of September. That's why these teams are all out of whack.
We don't know. That's why it's hard to gamble on because you don't know the teams.
But I'm glad you brought that up. That's why Joe Burrow insisted on playing as much as he did in the preseason. He was like, bro, I'm so tired of starting off slow, and I don't fucking blame him.
But to his defense, also, this is the first season in like a long, I think, in his career that he's coming into the season like healthy.
Yeah,
he's been hurt in the off season every year. Every year he's been hurt.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, I look at the team and I'm like, yo, you're not gonna sit there and tell me that in 1 year Washington gets one fucking player and all of a sudden they're that team. They're the team, bro. That's it. They're the dogs. Like Terry McLaurin just signed, what was it, yesterday or today, right? Yes. They just signed Terry McLaurin. Just fucking signed him. Then they have the balls to trade away Brian Robinson Jr. for fucking nothing. And now they're going to rely on all these no-name guys with old man Eckler as their only source of a running back for committee. And then all of a sudden, Deebo Samuel's just, he got some reps. He's going to come in. He's going to do whatever he does. But like all this shit's just going to gel and click week 1, right? That's it. They're that team,
You're forgetting they got Laramie Tunsil.
Oh,
the big signing.
My God.
The big signing.
Whatever. Old man Tunsil.
Yeah. Old man Tunsil, old man Von Miller. They're like the oldest team in the league. Like average wise.
Yeah, they'll be good. They'll be good for about 6 weeks. So from week 2 to week 6.
But Jules, because you can skip the line in the NFL and rebuild in one off season if you get the quarterback. And that's what they seem to have done. Look at the Texans. Who was thinking the Texans were going to become what they've become in the last couple of years? CJ Stroud, Nico Collins. Like,
But my point
Who's
is,
the
but my
coach? The
point
coach.
is,
Who would have thought that dude would have been that good?
CJ Stroud is coming off of a bad year, right? He had a so-called
He
sophomore
was still
slump,
solid.
right? Okay, but hold
He
on.
won the division.
Just had
He's
a bad
throwing balls to Nico Collins in the preseason. You understand? Because he knows he's got to step up a little bit. They got a running back situation, and they didn't do that great last year. They struggled in that game against the Chargers. Man, they should have lost that game. They got very lucky to come back and win that game. You know what I mean? Like so, like oh no, I'm sorry. Didn't they end up losing to the Chargers? Right? They lost to the Chargers, and then the Chargers lost the following week, if I'm not mistaken. Right? But whatever.
But they came back and was going back and forth.
Yeah, the point is that like, I'm sorry, but like the thing that made Washington really good last year was the fact that they weren't supposed to be there. They weren't supposed to be this team.
They just
Jaden
won
wasn't
close
supposed to
games.
step up that easy. Now that they're there, instead of them saying, shit, we came that close last year, let's even go harder, they're not. They're literally thinking, we got the Giants week one. That's our first preseason game. Don't think that that's not the attitude because you can just see it. And then, yeah, you got a team like the Giants who are playing loose, got nothing to fucking lose, don't give a fuck, and they're going to come in there week one when everybody's 0-0.
I can't wait
And
to
it don't
send
mean
this part
nothing.
of the pod to our friend to listen to. I'm going to edit this exact part out and just send it to him. But yeah, let's predict. Let's make a prediction. You know what I'm going to say? It's going to be 14-3, and the 3 losses are going to be on the refs. All right, because it'll be Flag Day those fucking 3 games. So that's just me. I'm always going to say it every year. That's my thing. Give me some serious predictions from you guys.
Yeah, man.
I think we'll be.
I know you're getting close to like 500.
Yeah.
Right?
We're gonna be a tough out. Are we gonna close these games? I don't think so.
Washington got lucky last year with a lot of close games.
Yeah, no, I know.
They turned it into wins. Can we do the same thing and
I
get
don't
it?
know. I don't know. We've had so much changeover with the players on the roster. I don't know if we would be
Why not?
able to do that.
We got the best quarterback room you said.
You know what it is? Again, the
Eagles
defense.
wins.
The defense needs to show me on the field. Like I want to see. Like the defense has not impressed me yet in the preseason in the limited reps that I've seen them. So like I want to see it before I believe it. You get what I'm saying? Everybody's like crowning this defense, like, oh, we're top 5 with this, with that. Shut the fuck up because Thibodeau's been here, Dexter's been here, Burns has been here a little while now. So it's like, all right,
Bobby O's been
gonna put it all
here.
together. I'm hoping, but I don't like Shane Bowen, so we'll see. Offensively, I still think we're a team that can't score. And until we can score points,
What you talking about, dude?
Huh?
We scored over 30 points in fucking 3 preseason games. What are you talking about? We've never done that, sir.
42 against New England.
Ever.
We had a 40 spot.
Preseason. Come on.
But we've never done it.
I want to see it. I want to see it week 4. I want to see it week 10. I want to see it in October. I want to see it in November. I want meaningful games in December. That's
we literally scored 100 points in 3 games. We're back.
So I got us at about 8 wins.
Okay.
8 and 9. Maybe 7, something like that, somewhere there. I would love 9 or 10, but I don't think we quite get there. It's tough. It's gonna be tough. And in terms of where we end up in the division, I think we're gonna be there with the Cowboys. I think Washington and the Eagles are ahead of us. So
listen. Honestly, I like what Washington's done, and I like what listen, they accomplished a lot last year. They got to the NFC Championship game. We can't take that away from them. They got high hopes with what looks like to be, the next guy at quarterback, right? Like he could be the next one that we talk about in the NFC.
Second year in offensive system too, Kingsbury system. So
right. And again, it could be that it's his system that really works, and that's part of the reason why this kid is doing as good as he's doing. And we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out right away too. As a matter of fact, we're gonna find out in like 10 days or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like all those things are in play. But again, for me, I think that the first 4 games of this season says everything. And I know it's kind of weird to put it like that, but look, if the Giants could go 2-2, which I think is very realistic. I think it's very realistic. Like a lot of people have us going 0-4, and oh my god,
which is also realistic. Yeah,
and you know what? If that's the case, it's just as easy for them to go 0-4 as it is for them to go 4-0. All right, like seriously, like it really fucking is. Because I'm gonna tell you this. Hold on, hear me out on this real fast, man. And look, I think that the 2 division games are winnable. All right, because you're getting Washington early. Later on in the season, when they're going and they're juiced up and they've gotten it going and everybody's rolling and they're on all cylinders, they're going to be a tougher out. Week 1, you see these teams go down all the time. The Chiefs lost last year, week 1. You know what I mean? The Green Bay had fucking the Eagles they were going back and forth with them till Love got hurt. You got to keep that kind of shit in mind.
In Brazil.
In Brazil, right. You got to keep these things in mind where week 1, everyone's going to give their best shot.
I agree. I think we have a shot at winning week 1.
So we're going to give it to them. And I'm telling you,
week 2 is the problem.
If Washington comes out and they hit on all and they're firing on all cylinders and they smoke us week 1, right? Like some people might think could happen, right? Then obviously that will undermine everything that the preseason has to offer. And at that point, you could throw that fucking shit out the window because then it absolutely means nothing. Now, if you take that back and all of a sudden we're in a dogfight and the Giants pull out and they squeak out a fucking win on a field goal, Graham Gano for 40 yards and bangs it through, all right? Listen, then all of a sudden, then it looks like, oh shit, maybe you should fucking play a little bit in the preseason, or at least be a veteran team with a veteran quarterback and an MVP like in the Bills, and then you could maybe decide not to play in the fucking preseason. So I'm really hoping that shit bites them in the ass. Because I'm hoping they come out a little flat. They're a little rusty. They could be working out on the sidelines all they fucking want. But when you're in there and there's guys coming down at you and you're getting hit and they fucking the pockets fucking collapsing and shit, that's a lot different than when you're in practice and you got a red jersey on, you can't touch the quarterback and you're just throwing pristine passes in the middle of fucking summertime. It's a big difference. So I'm hoping that really does bite them in the ass, because if it does, the Giants are coming out 1-0. And Dallas is in the same shit. You got Michael Parsons sleeping on a fucking stretcher. They're all in fucking turmoil too. Like they're all of a sudden just going to pick up the football and bang, they're going to just come out throwing and gassing it up and lighting it up and shit. I don't know that. And listen, we played them tight the last couple of games. The last 2 seasons, we've been playing them tight. We have lost them in fucking tight close games.
We cannot.
But that's the difference here.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you that we might jump out to 2-0. And then all of a sudden you go to the Chargers and look, the Chargers are good. And they're under a great coach. And
it's the Chiefs.
Kansas City, week 3 at home.
I'm skipping over them for a minute because they're fucking the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Like it's a little bit there.
You just think it's all.
I was saying how we could get to 4 wins, right? Like I said,
Kelsey got a gauge. I don't know if you heard it.
He did. Yes, he did. Taylor Swift. They got a gauge.
I'm actually
thought it was Taylor. I thought it was another dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're a year too late. I thought they would have did this crap a year ago.
Seriously. And
Jules, what's your prediction though?
My prediction is this: if the Giants could go 2-2, you're not going to. It's hard for me to believe that they're only going to win 4 more games out of the next 13. Okay, so at that point, I get.
Wait, hold on. You think we're going to start 2-0 in the division and then drop the next 2 to the West?
Well, that's the thing. That's why I brought up the Chargers and skipped over the Chiefs, because I find that one a hard one for us to win. I don't know if we're going to be ready to win that one unless we're banging Mahomes around early and we rattle him similar to what Philly did. I don't know if we can win that game. What I'm trying to say is I could see us definitely winning 1 of those division games, if not 2.
Yes, I agree with that.
And or possibly be upsetting the Chargers since they come to us, right? Right. So them, the whole West Coast thing, them coming across all that bullshit and 1:00 game, maybe that throws them off a little bit. Kansas City's primed. They're playing us at night. It's a Sunday night game. Mahomes is going to show up like that. That one, it's a fucking gimme, right? So I get it where you could flip it and say that you have literally fucking 4 playoff teams right off the gate. And that, you could easily see that this bum ass team that's fucking always picking in the top 10 goes out 0-4. I get that prediction, right? And if that's the case, then yeah, we're probably going to win 3-4 games for the season. You know what I mean? But if we start off 2-2, it's hard for me not to see 7-8 wins. It's hard for me not to see that 7-8 win though, because at that point, now you're just talking about me going fucking what? 4 wins, 13. What, I got to go 6-7 the rest of the fucking way at 2-2? You know what I mean? To get to 8 wins, like that's not, you're playing like 500 ball. You got the Saints, I think, is beatable. The Bears, I think, are beatable. There's teams that are fucking beatable on that schedule. You know what I mean? Maybe we get lucky. Maybe we beat fucking Philly one time. We got to play them twice in 3 weeks. Sometimes that does happen at times. Like the teams, good teams drop games to bad teams at times. It doesn't always happen, but they do. It does happen. So why not? Why not us? Why not this team that's playing like this? As long as they stay healthy. But like I said, if they start off 0-4, it's going to be a long, miserable season, Ben. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, we're done.
Are you saying 8 or 9? Which one are you going with?
8. I went with 8. I said
So you're gonna
eight's a
say
good
8-9
number,
record?
right? Listen, I'm not crazy about it, but 8-9, it's a possibility. I could see 8-9. Again, it's really just because of the brutality of the schedule.
I could see us getting to 9-8.
That's what it is. If we would have had like a couple of more easier games, like at a certain point in the season, I'd say we might get to 10, but we don't. 8 is a stretch.
I don't even like the fact that we got to go on the road in the first 2 weeks.
That's
right.
What sucks.
Like, what is that?
Like
the rotation is the rotation,
and
it's already set up,
and 2 road division games.
Yeah, it's like why would
we come? We come right out the gate, fucking like fuck. We're either in or out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the season could be over at 0-2.
Because, like I said, we back in the division. First 2 games, like we're supposed to, and I have to correct myself because I said the first 4 games are against playoff teams. Dallas did not make the playoffs last year, so we could throw that part out. But you know what I mean. But still, like if you could go 2-2 at that point, the season opens up a little bit, and I could see us winning a few games. They go 0-4, bro. You might see Jackson Dart by week 6, 7. You know what I mean? It really might turn
because, and that's what I don't want to see happen in terms of like Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is our quarterback. He is him. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't want, as soon as Russell Wilson has a bad pick here, we lose a game there, whatever, the fucking fans coming out in droves. We need to put the kid in. I already heard from enough people in the preseason, the kid only played a couple series, a half. He hasn't even completed a whole game. We haven't even got to see him.
We're gonna hear it all fucking year. It's New
York. I don't.
It doesn't matter what we want to hear. We're reasonable. We're reasonable, but like the fans aren't. You know what I mean? They're still screaming for Odell Beckham Jr. Dude has like no knees left. Like you can't ration out with a lot of these fans.
Odell,
we gotta wrap it up, Jules. Yeah, but Odell, you know what I mean? But Odell's like, I know, but people still call for it. We're never gonna hear the end of it. That's what it comes down to in New York.
Giant fans are stupid though, and there's a reason why we keep getting that number 1.
Not our fans that listen to the BBO.
Fucking words. Fucking
you guys are very smart.
I don't even know what that source was. It's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my entire fucking life, bro. Like, you kidding me? It's not that they're dumb fans. It's just that guys don't know football. They don't know actual football. So they look at everything through the eyes of fantasy football and fucking Madden. You know what I'm trying to say? So, Madden ratings get bought up and fantasy football because we don't have, all these studs that are getting drafted like other teams have. You know what I mean? So, like, that's what they fucking look at. So they're like, oh, I remember when Odell was in the league. Yeah, he was fucking on my starting team.
I also think it's New York fans in general. I think Knicks fans are tough.
Oh, yeah, we're all like that.
Like, we're very fickle. We boo everybody. We boo Mariano Rivera. Are you kidding me? Mariano Rivera gets booed. You know what I mean? Like, crazy. I just think Knicks. I just think New York fans, we're divided because we have 2 teams. You know what I mean? And we're very fickle.
Well, technically, the state of New York has 3. Or if you really want to get technical,
that's true. But look at just everything. Even in the movies, remember the other guys with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell? They're like, you shot Jeter, you should have shot A-Rod. Like it's really messed up, man. New York is just a brutal place to play. I root for these kids, man. Hopefully these guys do well. Abdul Carter, Jackson Dart, and all these guys.
Abdul Carter, please.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Of the year. Defensive rookie of the year. That's something I'm hoping.
Next time, Jules, will be.
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say we beat Washington this year. Week 1. We come out.
Me too. I agree.
Like the upset is there for the team. If this shit is fucking for real, we are going to come out and win week 1. Because, like I said, if not, like the NFL's got to look at it. Like this team is that cocky where they didn't give a fuck. They were just getting the team ready, putting the team on the field, and they're just going to steamroll the Giants. Really. So all the work that we've been doing this offseason, as much as they've been working their tails off, all the preseason doesn't mean jack shit. Clearly. Doesn't mean anything. So why even fucking do it anymore?
I'll give you a prediction. I think the Giants sweep Washington, not once, but twice, but 3 times. I think Washington, Giants, Philly make the fucking playoffs, and we play Washington to open up the playoff game. We beat them for 3 times in a row. Take that.
Oh, no,
this one's getting out.
He's crazy, yo. He's crazy.
Jules, you want to wrap this up? Next time we'll be back after the game, right? After
that's it. Right? So this is it. I mean, this is your end of preseason, a final 53 roster and previewing week 1. Now, Mike, the only thing we didn't do is I guess we're not doing picks, huh? Because we don't have the week 1 picks in place. So we'll skip week 1. We'll start week 2 with the actual NFL picks and everything else there. Yeah. So that's it, man. Look. I honestly think that the Giants got a legit shot to win week 1. That's it. I'm not going on some craziness. I'm not saying we win multiple games, have double-digit wins, but I'm telling you right now, you could quote me on this shit. We are going to be in a fucking dogfight with Washington week 1, and I think they're going to pull that fucking game out because screw that bullshit. This team, that Washington team was supposed to be built on them being fucking like this underdog and overachieving type team, and now they're coming in with like swag and they think they're the cocky shit like they're the shit. You had one fucking good year, bro. One good year. Let's see you do it again. All right. And that's just why I think the fucking Giants might smack them and put in a fucking upset. But as always, I fucking will be fucking eating crow if I'm wrong here because I don't give a fuck, man. I'm not trying to sound like a homer here. I'm putting some realistic fucking things into it where I think that there's possibilities that there could be a bit of a hiccup with Washington this year. And just I keep saying it because I just got that gut fucking feeling. But we shall see. And that's why they play the fucking games, right? So we'll be back next week. Oh, actually, week after week 1. And I'm telling you right now, Giants are going to be 1-0. You heard it here first. BBONYG podcast. Like and subscribe.
Go Giants.
Go.